now with all that funness,
Yeah.
without any more ado,
Oh,
we're going to turn the time over to Becky for
Yeah,
this
I don't.
awesomeness we have tonight.
Oh my God.
We got a half hour to go.
Oh yeah, I'm just so overwhelmed right now. I have like 10 zooms going.
Did I use too many numbers?
No, I didn't
Okay.
listen to you at all.
Okay.
So good to go. I'm going back in time to Brenda's class because I struggle following directions. My brain.
But you give them so well.
I know. And when somebody else tells me what to do, I'm like, really? That's how I have to do this?
You can tell me what to do.
No, I did it, Brenda. Did I do it, Brenda?
You did it.
I did. Here's my bag. But I got to tell you, I learned a lot in that class, not necessarily about bag making. She did not scare me off. I have since made another bag to perfect some of the things I didn't like making about this bag. And yes, we even have a third one going because I got some more ideas
And just
on
as
how
a,
to
just
make
a
them
shout
better.
out, these are the kits for the 2 bags that you can make in Saturday's class.
Yes, they're cute.
These 2 here.
Right.
Okay.
But what Brenda does is say to you, okay, now quilt those pieces together. And I'm like, what do you mean? And everybody's got this stitch in these colors.
I have never seen Brenda go like that.
And they're going 100 miles an hour on the machine. And I'm like, I am not just going to stick this beautiful fabric underneath my sewing machine and go I can't do that. That's not okay.
The shock and horror.
So I started drawing lines on my fabric. So
Everybody was done.
there were plenty of, there were whoopsie-doodles. I started drawing lines. But meanwhile, Brenda's like, you better get going or you're not going to finish. And I'm like, I don't want to just, she goes, Becky, it's only to stick the fabric together. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And I'm like, well, okay, so I'm not going to do this kind of quilting, which, by the way, I wanted to do. But she was hounding me so much that I couldn't see that beautiful quilting on this bag. Eddie, see that beautiful quilting I did on this bag? That's when Brenda...
How is that any worse than the quilting
That's
on this bag?
when Brenda wasn't standing over my shoulder.
Yeah,
Okay? This is me not having enough time to do what I really wanted to do because Brenda was harping on me to get it done.
And just in case you watching don't realize that
Yeah.
that quilting is centered on that panel around the fussy cut.
Yes, it is.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
And it would look a lot better if it was tighter together. But I had to cut it in half to get done.
I think it looks
Also,
fantastic.
I got a little, I said I want my quilting here to be, something different, see? And then I wanted my top to be something different, see that?
And to be clear, you will not do this in your class on Saturday.
Well,
unless
not
you-
with Brenda's permission, you won't.
Okay, but show them mine.
I will, because yours is beautiful.
And
This is Brenda's, and it's freehand, and it's...
That's just zhuzh, right?
It's a zhuzh. I just cannot do that.
Okay, but look,
And it's beautiful.
it's crisscross, but she changed the stick setting.
Well,
That's
see,
all she did.
no, she didn't. No, hers aren't all completely even, okay? If you want me to really point it out, I will. See this? I can't deal. I can't deal.
I'm sorry, Brenda. Sorry.
And she's literally in class. Now, this is very pretty. See, peeps? It's very pretty, okay?
I don't understand. Yeah.
But they're freehand.
They're not 1 inch apart.
No, they're not.
This is
They're
the
not.
difference between a Vera Bradley and a knockoff right here.
Bingo!
So, yeah, they're definitely beautiful, but I can't go like that. It's not in my DNA. I did finish in time.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Barely. Everybody was
pretty
gone
close.
like 2 hours.
Everybody-
I was close to being done on time.
And I had no participation. I had to go to the fair, so I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, so anyway, I then got home, and like I said, I quilted this by drawing more lines, and then realized, of course, that I could have used my sensor pen to just mark a laser 1 inch away and not draw lines. But hey, now I will. But meanwhile, I had fun drawing lines and following them. Brenda said she doesn't draw lines because she can't sew a straight line. That's what she told me.
Then I don't feel bad.
No. But then I said, oh, I have blue tiles.
I mean, see, Victoria's already catching on. She's like, I'll put it in the hoop and quilt it. And I'm like, yeah.
No, Jean, it was a 4-hour class, and I finished my bag.
In 8 hours.
No. But then I said, oh, I'm making another one, and we fussy cut the panel, and I quilted it with blue tiles.
Isn't that nice?
It
But
is.
that's the difference between
look at the
2
back.
hours and 8 hours, Becky.
Notice this bag is in
Yeah.
pieces. But I love it. I love it.
Very
And one of the
pretty.
things, too, that we're going to...
We're going to talk about
Yeah.
why I love the blue tiles for little, especially little things like this. It's so easy.
Yeah, because if you ever do any of the by Annie's patterns, the first step is to always quilt your soft and stable between your 2 layers of fabric. That is
Yeah.
always the first step. So
And if you're in
and if-
Brenda's class, she'll
yeah.
tell you just douche it.
and if you can pre-quilt it. So
Right, you can pre-quilt it before you
come to
my
class, yes. But so quilting with your machine to do this, well, works for all the by Annie stuff. Just want to throw
Oh,
that out there.
definitely.
It's not specific to
And-
this bag. It's
And the
it's
blue tiles is hands down easy peasy for this kind of thing because the start and stops are embedded within the design. You cannot see them. They don't exist. You cannot tell me where that started and stopped.
You are correct. I have no idea.
Exactly. So they're perfect for this kind of thing. The other thing, and Brenda, I'm going to throw you under the bus one more time.
Oh, good.
She has
Being under the bus.
in this class, I like, okay, putting the zipper in wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I thought, phew, now the hard stuff is over, the quilting, the zipper. She goes, where do you do the rounded corners, Becky? Because there's this straight piece that has to go all the way around, and they all have this fluffernutter in the middle. So we're sitting there with these wonder clips. Thank gosh I had them.
So not the smiley clips.
No, these things. And we're clipping it, I'm putting my clips on like this, going all the way around, and they literally are touching one another like this, So because you've got your 1/4-inch foot on and it stops, your machine stops here because this big clip is there. So it's like the clip is actually in the way.
I can't believe you didn't glue it.
Well, the first thing I discovered about Wonder Clips, my friends, is they have little markings on the back. Did y'all know that?
I thought that's
And
why
what-
people bought them.
Why didn't know that? And Brenda didn't teach it either. If you
There's actually a
we're
knock.
selling a 1/4-inch seam. I don't need to be sticking my clip that far in.
The knockoff Wonder Clips actually have a better marking on it.
I only have to put my clip in there. And guess what? It's a whole lot easier to get around that corner if you're not coming in really like that. So, yeah.
Oh,
I
Bev
learned.
just showed up, just to let you know, Bev, you have Quilt of the Week.
I learned Wonder, and you missed me oohing and ahhing it, Bev. It's such
You
a beautiful job. Was she in this class? No, okay. So I learned about the clips have a measuring stick on the back side, but they still were a pain in the neck to get around the corners. So I said to Brenda, I'm going to find a better way. I am, and I did.
So, do you have to put the clips on before or after you sew it on? Is that like
Before you sew it on,
Oh,
and then you
okay.
got to turn it over and do it again.
Well, why don't you sew it on with your fusible?
I tried my
thread?
fusible thread,
Okay.
wasn't strong enough to hold all these layers together. It's not strong enough for that, but this is. And it's wash away. So what happens is, and I actually put it on the straight piece, right? And it's 1/4-inch. Yep, double-sided wash away tape. Yes?
I was just thinking that, yes.
I didn't do it on that one.
Well, no, but I'm saying, so where you put it? Show us where you're talking about, where you put it, where you...
See now,
You can't show us yours.
This is my better one.
Show us that.
That's the first one. Brenda didn't have us bind the inside.
I was gonna say, if you're doing this like how I
didn't
think
have
it,
time.
Take hers away.
I bound the inside of this one.
You can't. Can't.
This one I did not use the Wonder Tape on.
But that's what I'm.
And I
So
ended up
aware.
having to rip out corners and redoing
A
them.
lot.
No, not a lot. We said a lot.
2 hours worth?
I did have to. But here's what I did on the next one.
I think that
This string-
the zigzag stitch is a valid alternative.
Oh, what, after you put it together, you mean,
Oh, yeah.
instead of binding it. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
But
okay,
I was
so-
trying to learn
So
my
you're talking
binding
about
technique.
clipping it before we bind it. This is just to sew these together.
Yeah. So you clip them, but here, this piece is a straight, this is a loop.
See, I was
at
thinking
this
you were talking
point.
about binding. Oh, now you're getting into a whole, yeah, okay.
This is a loop. So what I ended up doing is I take this loop, pretend this is my loop, and I put my Wonder Tape, my wash away Wonder Tape, I put it on the straight edge of my loop. And it's double-sided tape, so after you pull it off, this is sticky. So then you can just line it up with this guy and go just like this, right around the corner like that. And
Was
there's,
it strong enough? Or did you
yeah,
still have to do-
no, no. And it's no clips to remove, no clips to get in the way of my machine. And it sat right there. And the beauty is it's wash away. So on this bag, I love my corners on this bag, just saying. One of my corners had a little bit of it showing. I think I got rid of it. You just squirt water on it and it goes away.
Kind of like a cat.
Oh, there it is. No, there, see that?
Yeah.
That's the tape showing.
So you could lick it and it would go away too?
Maybe. I'm not licking that bag. It's been around the clock. So,
It's been
those
around
of
the-
you
been around the
who
block.
can't finish a bag in 4 hours. But I think we all struggled with the corners. So even if you just use this on the corners, and Brenda's got this down, so she doesn't need any of this stuff. But some of us do. Some of us do. She can just zip them out. She's like, "Ugh."
I know, they
And
look
I'm-
fantastic.
I know, but I couldn't. You saw mine. It was, well, I had to remove corners. So anyway, if you're a bag maker, this is now something we should have in the shop.
We probably had a million rolls of it, if it's what I think it is.
Wash away
No,
Wonder
that's-
Tape. It's quarter
We never
inch.
had wash away.
Oh, we didn't have wash
You
away?
could
Okay.
even use it to put the zipper in. I mean, you can use this
Oh, yeah.
so many places. It's very inexpensive and it holds pretty good. And
Okay.
it washes away. So to me,
It doesn't get
it
cooked when you get
changed my life.
Did it gunk
Nice.
up your needle?
Not at all.
Oh, good.
Think about it, it's only quarter inch and I'm supposed to be sewing a quarter inch, so I'm not really going into it.
Well, some of us can't
Unless you
sew
have a
straight
scant
line.
quarter inch.
Just saying.
Well, I did actually, afterwards Brenda teaches us to go scant before we zigzag it to flatten the seam down, so I did go scant too. But anyway, it's a product I really like.
No, I worked.
We're doing it again this Saturday.
I'm going to go like grass drag for my husband.
That's right.
The grass drag.
So anyway, now I don't even know which bag is mine, Brenda.
Really? Or yours?
Oh, yeah, I do.
The one that has the quilting centered on the panel.
So speaking of that,
Yes.
one of the things we had to do was fussy cut our things out. And Brenda had us cut it out oversized before we quilted it.
Mhm.
And then because the quilting makes it shrink down a little bit. And I'm just going to say there was somebody in class who, well, she gave up fussy cutting it and ended up doing a solid side because she kept cutting it off.
Is that person in
And
the room
once
right
again, no.
Oh.
And we love her. And she made me laugh. I said, we got more fabric. Oh, no, I'm not doing it again. She was like, I'm done. I'm done. But guess what the blue tiles do?
They fussy cut it for you?
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's say I said, oh, I'm going to make a panel. I'm going to do like 6 by 8. Say, I'm doing a 6 by 8. when I took these out, yeah, do the stack. When I took my tiles out,
I am the stack.
Brenda, you're gonna love this. Okay, let's pretend I did an 8 by 10. Keep in mind, I have, this is not the expansion pack, guys. I'm finding more and more uses for these tiles. It's crazy. I want to show you something.
You notice she just keeps talking?
I do. I wanted to show you.
Unless it was her joke.
That might be true. I want you to see on the essential set block, right? These two things, not the expansions. These right. There we go. These guys right here. That's how many blue tiles you get in the first set. The essential borders and the essential blocks. And by the way, something else I learned: borders are black ink on them, blocks have blue ink on them. And when you go online to Kimberbell, you will see they have been very busy. There are hundreds of designs for these blue tiles. They have gone back and redone all this stuff. Orange on site means they don't have it in blue tile yet. Blue means it is in blue tile. Black means it's a border.
Does it also mean you have to rebuy them?
No, you do not. They are allowing you to re-download. They're all free
I wish people could
updates.
see, like,
Free updates,
every time
Danny.
Danny asks a question, she raises her hand.
I know. And I'm supposed to repeat it. Danny wanted to know if she had to rebuy designs she already bought. The answer is no. They are allowing you to download the blue tiles for any designs you've already purchased. So, based on a smaller machine, I want you to know that on a smaller machine, it doesn't rule you out of this, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's
because
why
there are so many sizes available. But now, automatically, I have a fussy cat. I got home and I went, hey, if she tells me to size it to 8 by 10 when I'm going to close it, right? And I want to look at it, you can see through it. Can we have a top down on my big mess here? You can see through this, and you can go, oh yeah, where's my heart? Can you see what I'm doing?
Yeah, you're just lining up the...
And it also became where I was trying to put my quilt design.
Now, will that work though? Because if we're doing this on a 6 by 10 and
Well-
that's an 8 by 10, so would you have to use a smaller tile, or can you?
I would use a smaller tile, because he only goes to 6 by 10,
6
right?
by 10, yes.
So the problem is there's so many tiles. See how borders in black? I wanted to show that. Whoop, down here. Whoop, up there, down there. See how it says border in black?
Yep.
That's why I know it's a border. See border in black? So I have to sort them. I made a big mess.
Kind of like a lady in red.
That's a black one. So you can usually tell.
That's good.
Where's my blocks, Brent? See how that's in blue?
I'm thinking your blocks are probably
Finished
under that
block.
mess right there.
Oh yeah, they're there. Okay, 6
Thanks
by
for
8
keeping it
finished block.
organized.
Okay.
All right? So, I mean, for me, I knew, you can see the blue, can you see the blue lines on there from when I was playing with my,
Yes, I can see the blue line.
yeah, that's from this.
Okay.
See, I know I wanted a blue line to go through my heart. See that? So I lined
You
this
go
up
over
with,
ahead.
sorry, Eddie, let me get some of this crap out of here. So I wanted my
I wasn't
heart
sure if he was napping on us was all.
on that blue line. See how that becomes my center?
Yep.
Now, after I'm all done, I don't remember what I lined up the other lines with. I can't see them now. Oh, the bed of the machine, I think. I think it went like that when I was first quilting it. I don't remember now, but it was something like that. Anyway, when I draw those blue lines, then later when I go to cut it,
Yep.
when Brenda says, okay, now cut it to 9.5 by 6.5, I cut my blue lines already there.
So you know where the center's at.
I do.
Nice.
I do. It also gave me my quilting instructions. So how did I do this? First of all, I didn't do it on that machine, but I could do it on that machine.
Yeah, and we wanted to, and tonight we're going to show you, we're going to kind of run through real quick on this machine,
Yes.
because this is the new 1700E, which does the 6 by 10 hoop. So if you have a 1400E or 1600E, you should be able to do this without a problem.
Right. Now, when I had this already fussy cut, this piece itself would be too big to just fit in the hoop like that. So I probably would have kept these as the bigger pieces, so I had room to hoop it like this. I
Yep.
wouldn't have pre-cut them. The trick is to just put a long enough back underneath it so you can still hoop the back. I don't care if I haven't hooped the front or the stuffing, but I do care if I hoop the back. So you got a magnetic hoop here. There is a trick to using the magnetic hoops with
Oh, wait,
these
is
blue
that,
tiles.
is that your hoop or our hoop?
That's your hoop.
Wait, okay.
The
Yes,
truth
we
is,
have a
I-
6x10 hoop.
Okay, give me the back first, please. I want to show you what I do in my hoop, though. After I put this in, I'm going to show you. These are small, so you can easily move these safely back and forth to the machine. This isn't like the big quilts we did. Okay.
Oh, wait.
What I did on my hoop, just so you know, and I recommend everybody does it for the magnetic hoop. See these lines? That represents the center of where my machine is going to start stitching. How do I figure that out? I put a piece of interfacing in there, stick it on the machine, and do a crosshair stitch. And if you come to our classes, we give those out if you don't have them. Then every hoop, you put that, you load that crosshair design. I think it's on the stick too if you want to
Yep.
show it, Brent. That will automatically tell you where the center of your hoop is going to be. And so if you have a magnetic hoop, you've got to draw those in. That's about the only thing you
Do I
need
go
to
this-
the only thing you need to draw. If I have no reference point like this, it becomes very difficult to put my blue tile where I want it to be. If you are using a regular hoop,
So that's the crosshair stitch right there.
yeah. If you're using a regular hoop like this on your machines, and by the way, blue tiles will work even with a 5x7 hoop, so
Yep.
you can even go smaller. But if you're working with this size hoop, you will have these markings right here represent where the center of your design should be. So you have those to line up. If you're a beginner, I would recommend this, just because if you're not used to lining up your hoops, but you could use Becky's magic clips.
The smiley clip?
Yeah,
They're magic.
yeah, they're magic now.
Oh, okay.
You could actually clip those before you took this to your machine.
You could.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, all right. So starters, this is easier with the blue tiles
Yeah.
until you get these all marked. This one isn't marked. We're going to pretend it is though. Okay.
Okay.
So we know, Brenda. I don't know what size. Remind me
For what?
for this.
Oh, it wasn't a 6.5 by 8.5?
Yeah, I can't remember, but that's all right. We'll make it up as we go.
Okay.
What's the beauty of this? Oh, here's a 6x10. The beauty of these tiles is if I needed to combine two,
I'll
I-
move up a little more to
oh
give
gosh,
us.
I got too much stuff in the way.
I'll take this
I could easily add more of these blocks. If I said I needed to fill this whole section in, I should be more organized, Brent.
No, it's not. Don't want to get away with it.
For as much as people are paying to watch this, they're gonna get what they get.
Anyway, you can then add, is
You
this,
got a free tile.
no, give that back. See how this one is like I need my glasses. Okay, well anyway, you can add tiles. I don't want to give my whole class away.
That's fine.
You can
Just-
add
yeah.
tiles, but
Yeah.
let's say we're just quilting right here, right? And let's pretend we know where our center is on this hoop,
Yep.
because I haven't marked your hoop, and I don't know who's going to buy it. So what they have you do is they just go, oh, I'm going to show you another trick I learned too. They just have you mark, this is the top of your design, these are the sides. So what am I doing? I'm drawing the crosshair on the fabric. That's all I'm doing. I'm drawing the crosshairs. And then you can write the size, but I don't bother with that. So what? That's where the center of my design goes,
Okay.
right? Now, and you can do this all over the place. Let's say you have one of these. This was a huge light bulb for me.
Yeah, and this is the
I'm
the
sorry,
pen.
but this
and,
just-
and you notice
just-
you took that out of a package.
Yeah, never
That-
used.
To understand how often these got used, that's probably from a trade-in that somebody brought in and never actually opened this
Let's
thing up.
load up Swirls 6x10. I'm going to show you
Yep.
some of them.
Wait, I thought you were showing it. Let me saw what it was.
Oh, I am.
Oh.
Oh, that perhaps the foot's a little low.
She didn't show it.
Oh, you know what? I'll
get
let
it.
you hire that. Is it all the way up, Brent? And we need thread in there too,
Yeah.
actually. These are sensor pens. They come on several machines. What they allow you to do, this machine doesn't have a sensor pen, which I wish it had, because then I would be like all over it. Oh, thank you. What you do is when you're in edit mode, your second edit screen, okay, on the Dream Machine and the Weaver, there's a picture of a little pen. You click the little pen, and then the screen says, okay, click the center of your pattern. Oh, wait, I just drew a blue dot. Ding. Okay, step 2, stitch a straight line in the direction of the top of your pattern. Oh, I have that drawn too. Ding. Oh, wait, you hooked it crooked? No worries, we'll fix it for you. And it's done. So, Karen,
What? I'm watching.
you need to use this pen. It's a magic.
Okay.
And it'll do this even if it's totally cockeyed. You basically touch the middle, touch anywhere on the line, and bada bing, bada boom, the machine recalculates your orientation. Did you know that?
I didn't get it, but I haven't used it.
Oh my gosh. With the blue tiles, people, if you have a Dream Machine, a Luminaire, a Weaver, it's the way to go. If you don't have that, you've got to be careful about hooping them straight. You just do.
So, do you like it better than the stickers? Or do you use
For blue tiles, I do. And here's why. Edge to edge, when I'm doing edge to edge with Amelia, once I make my template and put my sticker on there, that template is used again and again and again and again. I don't have to reuse another snowman. He's on there and he stays on there. With blue tiles, if I were to use a snowman, I would have to stick the snowman on here, take it off. Next hooping, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, take it off. With this, all I got to do is go point, point, done. So for blue tiles, this is the way I would recommend going. These are in your machine already.
talking about the blue tile?
Oh, well, come to class, you'll get a discount. Okay,
Okay.
so,
Oh, I'm loading up. Do I
and
need
we
to-
have thread in it too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Do I need crosshairs or are we good?
We don't, but I wanted them to see,
The
do you want to
crosshairs.
stitch it, just to see if I got it right? Yeah, go ahead, stitch it. Let's see how close I am.
Okay. So we're going to stitch the crosshair.
Which is
Right
fine.
on.
I would stitch across here on a piece of stabilizer before I quilted anything with a brand new magnetic hoop. And
Just-
that would give me my orientation lines. 'Cause-
Find them at all.
yes, and then hoop it accordingly. And this crosshair is in a lot of Kimberbell patterns too. It's not a secret. So you might have it and you don't even know you have it. And I do it for every hoop I own. I want to know where
That was easy.
the crosshairs are.
That was the one.
What?
I don't know. I've never seen this before.
Not enough available memory to save the pen. That we don't want to save it. We just want to stitch it. Oh no!
We're just
I'll-
we're just making awesome.
All I have on there is a few quilting designs. Not even all of
But there's
them.
nothing on the machine.
What's that?
Not enough available on
Okay,
the
so well,
machine or on the
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Stolo, hi Stolo, hiding in the dark. I see ya.
Who's that?
Well, that might be a relative.
Yeah, I thought so. They
Stolo?
said that was easy buy.
So while you're fiddling with that, I want to say something else. Aha moment that came during my bad class. Aren't you glad you let me in?
I am, because you came up with all these great
I
ideas.
just
That's
thought.
not what you said when she left.
You're not supposed to tell everything you know, Danny.
When we're looking at the directions, okay, we did not do binding in class, but Becky wanted to get better at binding because the next bag we make, I hope, has binding on the outside, and I don't want to be like stumbling it during that class. So I got reading her preparing of binding, and I went, hey, that's almost the way we did continuous bias binding with a fat quarter. Almost, except she has us cut all the strips and sew them together individually. And I said, self, actually went down. I said, self, she has you cut a 14-inch square, right? And then she has us cut it in half. edge to edge. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
The bias.
Yeah.
Remember we did
On the
this?
bias.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember we did this? Oh, I forgot my rotary cutter.
yeah.
So we cut it down here. Oh, and I have another tip on continuous binding. Label your sides. Thank you. For instance, this is square because she told me to make it square. Over here you'll see I have a number 1. Over here I wrote a number 1. That's so I remember which these two are going to get sewn together. Up here I have a number 2, and down here I have a number 2 because that's my second seam. These two go together. Yeah, it really, remember when I had to have a man with a belt for knowing how to put my bias together, my binding together? Well, I have to have a 1 and a 2.
Man with a belt.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of stuff done, doesn't he?
He does. So we cut corner to corner. This is no different than what we did when we were showing continuous binding.
New blade, I guess, I'm sorry.
Piece of crap.
You should know better when you come here.
I'm used to finer things in life.
Well, did that one come out of the classroom?
I don't have enough
Came off
pressure on it.
Danny's table.
There. Okay. Remember we did this? No? Ring a bell? And then we turned it into a parallelogram?
What class am I supposed to be remembering?
Continuous bias binding.
Yeah, we did this as a, yeah,
You did it as a.
yeah.
Yeah. So I know I need to put number 1. This is my update it with number 1. Oh, yeah. Right sides together. Oh, that's not right. That's number 2. See? Now I know. I got it. 1 to 1.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Doesn't that make sense? Yeah, I like that little ticket. And then we stitched along here, right? Which she has you do. And then we pressed it open, which she has us do. And then she opens it up like this. And we're not going to do it because we don't have a sewing machine. And then she has you start cutting 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4. Well, what we did with continuous binding is we didn't cut it yet. We drew our 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/4. We drew lines. And then after the lines were drawn, we took side 2 and we matched it to side 2. And we shifted it over by 1 tail.
Yeah, it was too complicated.
No! If you write the 1 and 2, it's so much easier. And we sewed, so then we sewed those 2 sides together and we have a funky loop. And then we just had those 2 seams, pressed it open, and cut it apart with scissors. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
So we're just, it's like the same thing, only take this, Brent, sew this together. No, I'm kidding. And then put, now though, 2 with 2. See how much easier that is with the numbers?
It does make more sense with the numbers.
You have to have the numbers. So 2 with 2, these are sewed together, and then you go cut, 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 cut. Yeah, well, I asked Danny to do a demonstration tonight because she said she has an easier way to make continuous bias binding,
I will show you and then you can show everybody.
and she refused to show us.
All right, your crosshairs are off a little bit, but that's probably because I moved it a lot, moving things around.
Okay, well, bottom line is that's what crosshairs do. Then I would have used these crosshairs to draw on my
Yep.
mat for the first time. Then on my frame.
Yeah, because if you
Now
stitch
I've
that on
got
a,
my reference.
yeah, if you stitch that on a piece of stabilizer.
Yeah, then
Yep.
I take it out of the
Okay.
machine and I just take my ruler and I go like this. Now all of a sudden my magnetic hoop has reference lines.
Okay.
So that's easy,
Yeah.
all right?
Now what?
Load up, load up.
Can you go to the-
Swirls,
Eddie, can you go to this camera for a second? Make sure.
load up swirls, 6 by, I'm gonna use this to line up the hoop after your
Okay.
crosshairs anyway, so we can show you on the next, it's really the next hooping that makes it come to life.
That's not what I wanted to do. So border swirls,
No, swirls,
swirls.
and now, no, scroll down. Okay, one of those is probably it.
That's a 5. That's like a 7 by.
6 by 8.
6 by 8.
Yeah.
Is that what I told you?
I don't know. I think so, yeah.
I didn't write it down, and I should have.
You did that little,
This is what we're gonna use.
but so that little slot in the thing that says write the
That's where you
size,
write
that's
6/8.
where you write, okay.
Yeah, that's where you write 6/8.
Okay. So now we're just gonna stitch it out?
Yep, stitch it out.
Should I have done that like on water-soluble thread of some sort?
No,
Or we don't care?
no, because I would have, what, the crosshairs?
Yeah.
I would have done that on stabilizer.
I know,
I wouldn't
but,
have done it on my
so we're not gonna do anything with this, we're just stitching it out for the fun of it?
Yeah, because that's not the right color thread for me anyway.
Okay. I thought it would look nice, the gray on the pink.
You didn't even match the bobbin though.
Well, it was a black bob, and that's why I went with a gray top, because hoping it would be close enough.
Yeah. Now.
But apparently I was
we
wrong.
now- we
Apparently
now-
I was wrong.
We now know where it started. Do you see where it started in that design? In the middle of a swirl.
Yes, which
So
I could.
don't have to match up start-stop points on anything. Poor. Oh, that's not cool.
I was just gonna say.
Did that hit here?
Yeah, but this wasn't quite centered over the.
Oh,
It was off a
Brent.
little bit.
See,
I didn't know that. It shifted
That-
because of the thingy-mabob.
no, it didn't. Just 'cause
Are you sure it wasn't the who's in the watch it?
It might actually be fine. It could just be that these hoops aren't going to be good for this. All of it has to do with the thickness of the stuff. It's not the end of the world. There's a little bit of give in there. We'll be fine.
It's all about the thickness, Becky, all about the thickness.
Y'all here, Lynn. Oh, Brent, you're gonna break something.
No,
it's a
it's
brand new
fine.
machine.
This is not a brand new machine.
Okay,
This is the one that came in on trade.
I thought this was a brand new machine.
You missed me swapping the machine out while you were here talking?
Oh, I did. Use these.
Yes. Yeah, what we're running into with this is because this is thicker.
I'm gonna hoop it in this one.
Yeah.
It takes 6x10, right?
Yeah.
Does the 1400 take 6x10? So this
Yeah,
is
the
this
14 by-
isn't the 1700. You already said goodbye to that?
Well, I figured I would just
You don't know?
troubleshoot. I think it might need an update, is what I'm thinking.
Oh my God!
I don't know, but it was a weird error message, and rather than sit here and fight with it, I just figured I'd bring this gem, which is a came in on trade.
I
You
did
could
not
take this home
even-
tomorrow at
I
a
did
very
not-
reasonable price.
I did not even know that wasn't a new machine.
I know it has I don't think it's. Well, it came in used and
Now,
yeah.
does that have the turn off feature for the, because you didn't do it, the turn off the trim?
Okay, the one downside to the 1400, why if you have a 1400, you soon come to hate it if you do a lot of embroidery, is it does not have a jump stitch function. So by default,
It jumps.
it doesn't jump.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But could you have turned off the beginning trim? 'Cause
I have to look at that, I'm not
I
sure.
don't, and I noticed on Bev's quilt, did you know why
Yeah.
it was so tidy on the back?
Yeah, it looked good on the back, yeah.
You know why?
No.
Because she turned off the
I
trims.
turned off the trims.
And she brought
yeah.
her thread up.
Yeah,
Each and every time, Bev,
and it looked good.
it looked pro.
It's time consuming, but it's fun.
It looked pro. It's not that time consuming.
Bring up your thread.
Once
Yeah.
once you get good at it,
If you have certain ones though.
Now, just have a little pair of tweezers with you.
No, but some of the edge to edge that Kimber Bell used to do had
Oh.
5 jump stitches and one design.
You know what I do on those, though? I turn off jump stitches. I let them jump. I trim them after. I don't like having those knots on the back. I turn them off.
So,
Yeah. No, just cut them. There's micro stitches there, so they're not going to fall apart. You literally can just trim the jump stitches yourself. That's what I do. Because I don't like... Oh, God, Brent. You know,
that's nothing
okay,
to
I'm
worry
hooking
about.
into this next time. It's
It's
not.
nothing to worry
it's
about.
not.
It's just
I
the
got to get
thickness
that template out, though. I threw it over here somewhere. Was this it, 6x10?
I'll tell you.
Well, this is what we're going to use next anyway.
She's getting a kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? We're going to see how wonderfully these go together.
All right, that was exciting.
That was a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. Okay, come here. I'm going to show you how to do with a regular hoop because I am not going to listen to that. Those things worry me. You also could have done this
You can't even tell.
by putting it on a sticky back washable stabilizer,
Mhm.
but I found it easier to just use my backing fabric and stick that in the hoop. Okay, see what I'm talking about, people? This is the knots I'm talking about. Look, right there. Can y'all see that knot? Looks like a dead tick or something.
I love that's the first thing you think of when you see a dead.
Does look like a dead tick. That's what I'm talking about. You turn those off, and this here too.
Didn't you show Brent how to put the needle down and needle up and cut his thread?
I did not tonight. That's my class. You got to come to class. And then I hit you over the head if you don't do it. You know, it was funny, though. It was funny. And Bev, if you're still out there, I really appreciated her. She and Wilma would get their start and stops really close, and they go, yeah, that's pretty close. And I go, yeah, but do you want to get it perfect? Do you want to know how to get it right on?
And that's why
and
your
she did-
bag took
and
8
she did,
hours.
But she did. Did you see her quilt?
Her quilt looks
She
fantastic.
goes, yeah, I can get it right on. I said, yeah, it's real easy to get it right on. And before the class was over, I mean, look, I'm so proud of her. Oh my God. Okay, so, by the way, you can also use friction pens, which is what I'm going to use right now, because
So now you're just going to line that up?
yeah, now, well, this one is too, see, already I know, oh, this pattern's too big. I can't do another
But-
6 by 10.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't
what
fit.
did it.
Yes,
But we did a 6x8 pattern.
we did.
All right, so that was going to be my question.
Ask away.
Because you're going to use this to line up your next pattern, correct?
I'm going to actually
But
use
if we
this 6
use-
by 6.
But we have to then match the pattern we use to the tile that you're using?
Yes,
Ah, okay, because the
now-
edge of the tile is going to be the edge of the pattern.
yes. So see how I'm using this to know how far apart? I just go,
Yeah.
oh, I'd like it, I mean, in the real world, I would have drawn lines and blah, blah, blah.
In my world, I just eyeball
You're
it.
going to put 6 by 6 in there now, swirly 6 by 6.
Okay.
Actually, with this stuff, you can do so much eyeballing because you can't tell where one started and one stopped.
It's already turned into my type of product.
I know,
Mine too.
I know. So, and again, at this point, if I have a sensor pen, I am not worrying about my hooping. I'm getting it somewhere in the middle on this guy or somewhere in the middle on this guy. And then I'm using my pen to get it
So we're
right.
doing 6x6 next?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have 6x6 loaded.
Okay. So now, if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, without a pen, you have to then line up your Huzelmudingas here and here
No,
and here
it's
and
6
here.
by 10.
All right, so you're lining that crosshair up with the,
Center of this hoop.
yep, okay.
So if I were using the magnetic hoop, I would have drawn those lines on my magnetic hoop so I would know where they are.
Okay.
Then, and yes, Becky has double-sided tape on here. But, oh, it's not going to hoop very well in this one. But we'll see what it does. Gotta open up my hoop. The reason I say that, I'm going to lie and use the magnetic hoop, because see how I don't have enough on these edges?
Mhm.
The beauty of the magnetic hoop is I don't care. Oh,
It's all
I'm going
right.
to use my littler hoop.
But it's going to have the same
Oh,
problem.
well,
It's going
it's
to have
5
the same
by 7.
problem.
Gosh darn it.
It's going to be the same problem. It's all right. It's also close enough to the middle that we won't have the issue.
Well, I have to eyeball it though.
Well, this is just for television, so it doesn't matter.
The beauty of the magnetic hoop,
If
as
you
I
come to
was
class,
saying,
if you
is
come to
I
class,
don't
you'll
have
see how
to
to do it
have,
properly.
I don't have to have extra fabric here and here
Yeah.
just to get it in the hoop.
Yep.
So, yeah, if I was in class, these would have lines on them.
Yeah.
And if you came to class and you didn't have lines on them, we would get lines on them.
Okay.
Because it's important. Unless you have a sensor pen.
See how lucky you are?
Sensor pen, sensor pen.
I'm not gonna be doing this one. No.
Weavers, Dream Machines, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's not close to being in the center.
Well, you're probably right. Hold on.
So just fudge,
Hold on.
I'm just gonna fudge the,
All right.
we're not in the center.
We're not in the center, so I'm just going to.
Pull the fabric. That's
Yep.
another beauty of the magnetic frames, people, is you can maneuver your fabric. So this is a small machine using a magnetic frame.
Yep.
using a very sophisticated quilting system.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Did you see that? Did they even see how you did that? You
Um,
just checked the alignment.
Yeah, you want to go to the screen here?
Eddie Shaw? Yeah.
So this is actually,
I think he's.
this is going to be on all machines, even
Yeah.
the higher end one. But if you're in your, whoops, I want to go back a screen. This here shows me that right now my needle, the needle drop is in the direct center of my pattern.
And if you actually drop the needle, you could
Yeah, you can
make
see
sure it
that.
was. And the
And-
beauty of the Menando frame is you can
Yep.
fudge your fabric pretty easily.
And then all I did is I hit this. This is going to put me in the center right of my frame.
Did you see what happened?
And then if you cut,
see the crosshair?
and you'll see if you're from our angle, you can see where the crosshair is just about there. So all I
The
did was
ones I drew with my tile.
yes. So all we're doing is I was just checking the 4 points of the crosshair with this.
And it does
And-
look very good.
Yeah, and I just eyeballed it.
Looks good?
Looks good. So
Looks real good, actually.
we're just gonna hit OK, and we're going
But
to.
if you had one of these, you just have to point to
This is true.
But does that really help?
it. No.
That big?
But you saw how easy this was with a magnetic frame and a
Yep.
smaller machine.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're yelling at
Am I yelling?
No, and yeah, this is really easy. You're watching it. Like I
I
said,
was amazed because I said, okay, I know I can do it on the fancy dancy machines. Now, what am I going to do when I don't have a fancy dancy machine?
And this is the
And
this
the
is
blue
the,
tiles-
this is the entry level embroidery machine that I would recommend you start at. There are less expensive machine. This is the one to start with because you can get magnetic hoops for it.
You do not need a huge hoop to make this work. Now, I don't know that I do a queen size quilt this way, people, but I certainly would do a yard of fabric like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I certainly would do bags, and I certainly would do a wall hanging, or even a lap, because if you come to class and you're using the magnetic hoop, there's a few other tricks we gave you on how to maneuver that fabric.
Yeah.
So
So you kind of get a permanent. The blue tiles is a great tool. Like I said, you don't need the fancy machines to do it.
no, you do not.
We're-
And there's so many patents out there right now, it's unbelievable. And,
And I can tell you, if you bought this machine, because this is the one that came in on trade,
oh,
you
it's
could
still
act.
hitting the frame.
It's
I think we
fine.
should hire the foot or
You
something.
can't do that on this machine.
Oh,
And it's not the foot that's hitting it, it's the
It's the
needle.
needle.
It's the needle bar. It's just pushing down. It's not the end of the world because you've got
but
the.
once again, you don't have it lined up properly.
Yeah, we're off a little bit too. But I was just going to say that this machine, if you were interested,
He
is
doesn't.
less than $1,000. I can't give you
And
exact
still
prices.
look how good it's quilting, even though moron here. Look how far you get that over. Don't touch it now.
It's,
That's going to be my quiz next week. How many times did I use the word moron tonight?
are you allowed to use moron, or is that?
I don't know, but I know I
I'm not
did.
sure.
You know that?
All the good things we used to call each other as children, we can't use as words anymore. It's kind of sad.
Oh, goodness.
But
I'll
then
take
it's
that
what kind
out
of
of my
child?
vocabulary.
What kind of childhood did I have when I stop and think about that?
No, it's because I was surrounded by such people all day today. Still in my blood.
It sounds like there's a story there. Are you going to share?
Okay, can only share parts of it.
Let's start where you at work.
I was at work. I work at home.
Yeah.
And there was a certain hot tub that I
Oh, the
bought a
hot
year and a
tub.
half ago.
Here we go.
A year and a half
The
ago.
hot tub.
And it finally arrived. Now,
But isn't this the hot tub that burned down the shed?
no, that was the pool heater that
Oh,
burned
okay.
down the shed. That we had a hot tub, but every time I turned around, it needed repair, and it wasn't a cheap hot tub, and it came from Canada. So when COVID hit, there was no fixing this hot tub, and I got so mad.
How did you survive COVID without a hot tub?
Well, because I kept paying extra money
First world problems right there.
to get it fixed.
No, I thought it was because she would crank up the heat in the pool.
And that's why she burnt
Well,
the pool
I
down.
did, and then I burned the pool heater down.
So we can blame the pool
But-
shed on
so
COVID.
anyway, I get a call that it's finally in.
Yeah.
So we're all excited, okay? The thing comes and it sits in my driveway for a couple days because the machine, they had to lift it off the trailer broke. I said, this thing is jinxed.
Yeah.
It takes a year and a half to get here, and I kept thinking, it better be the right color. It's all wrapped up. Couldn't even tell what it was. Now, look at that, people.
Didn't want to interrupt your story, but yeah, that looks
I know.
fantastic. And the
So
other reason I use the dark red
obviously,
is so you can see
Brenda, I
it.
could have done this whole piece,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then,
that is
Yeah, if you
really
weren't fussy
neat.
cutting, you could just do like a yard of fabric and then cut it up
I know,
after.
but you can even do fussy cut.
Yeah, after
You
you, but I'm
can.
just saying if you did the whole yard up first and then cut it up for
Yeah,
your pieces
but
after.
how about them apples?
That is really neat.
Yep, I agree.
Nice.
Ooh, I have to take that class.
Let's talk about the class, ladies.
But see, I could even add more stuff here with the
Right.
narrower tiles, do you see?
Yeah.
Just moving this fabric over.
Yeah.
On
So
a,
you have another size pattern.
that matches,
Matches.
these are two different sizes.
Yeah, that's what's
Right,
interesting.
that's what I'm
That's what
saying.
I'm fascinated by.
So the next one, would it be like a long, skinny one?
Yeah, that's probably what I would use.
That's what I'm fascinated by this because you can't tell that it's two different sizes because
Those
it's
are
scaled
two
the same.
different sizes.
But they scale it the same, so you
The
can't tell.
scale is the same.
That's the
And
magic.
look at,
It's magic.
it
I-
is magic, and you saw how easy it was to line it up. Without any bells and whistles.
Oh yeah,
Brent.
this is a real basic machine. There was no.
Isn't,
fancy
isn't
tools.
that crazy?
So
Yeah.
when is your class?
Yeah, really nice.
Blue Tiles class is Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
And I have a lot of prep work to do because I'm going to make them do a custom
Yeah, so we
thing.
have it on
Oh,
Tuesday,
yes she is!
and then
I'm
we.
taking it up a notch, Brent.
Okay,
They're going to come away with,
that's why they want to
Yeah.
come here.
yeah.
So if you're interested, sign up sooner than later because we don't have anybody signed up for Blue Tiles by the end of the day Friday. We're probably going to cancel the
Well, you
Tuesday.
got to because I can't be ready.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. We're going to cancel it, but there is a Saturday Blue Tiles as well. So if you're interested, in this-
following Saturday, not this
yes,
Saturday.
it's not the 9th, it's the 23rd.
See? See,
So-
honey? Look.
So sign up if you want to learn how to use Blue Tiles.
Oh, I threw it your way.
So
But
all
you-
that being
See
said,
that? You just keep building. No math.
It is magic.
There's no math.
can you guess what time it is?
No. And I just get excited when
I
I, figure
know.
something out and I
There
go,
is no math,
"Whoa!"
so all those numbers I told you about our hoop sizes don't matter because there's no
Yeah.
math.
Okay, so talk about the class. You said there was a discount.
Oh, if you attend the class,
You will get a discount off the Blue Tiles if you buy it after the class,
or if you buy, well,
or if you buy it for the class.
during the class,
Yes.
you will get a discount. If you come
Yeah.
in and say, Becky, I brought in this little baby blanket. I want you to show me how to use blue tiles on it. I can do it. It's that
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
You can bring me in, don't bring me in this.
Yeah, something
okay,
giant.
guys? In class, the designs you will use will not be yours to own. But if you say, I really want to quilt this placemat or this table runner, I really want to do this project, come in, get the blue tiles
Yeah.
first.
And
And
is
th-
it full?
And then you can actually work on that project if you want.
Yep.
I will be prepared for playing.
Yes.
I will have a project for playing.
So all that being said,
It's that easy.
we're gonna have to hold off and wait till next week to hear the hot tub story because it is
Oh!
20 after 7.
Oh, well, I got to tell you this.
Okay, well,
There's
I
one
will.
last thing. So I go out, and this thing is so deep. I'm going to need a snorkel. I'm sitting on, there's no water in it yet because there's another problem. But I'm sitting on the seat, and the headrest is down here, and I'm like, the top of the tub, you can't even see me.
That's a good.
I'm like, I need a booster seat or a snorkel. I cannot. If the water's up to where it's supposed to be, I'm under it.
If Becky doesn't show up for a class, we know where she is in the water.
It's
Now-
got some nice looking jets. That's all I can say.
Is it the right color?
It is the right color.
Okay.
But I was nasty. I went out and I went, oh, hold everything. It's supposed to be blue. The guy's like, no.
You are nasty.
Anyway, on that bombshell,
Short and mean.
thanks for joining us for another evening of Shenanigans.
Yes, we
with
do
Brent and
pull up the
Becky.
bobbins there, Jane. Always, always, always.
Join us again next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another fantastic and enlightening episode of Shenanigans
Whatever it is.
with Becky and Brent.